You're 35.
Thank you.
When you started, you weren't 35. You were a humble non-league goalkeeper who got spotted. Did you know you were good at 17?
I don't think I was any good at 17, to be honest with you. It wasn't until kind of getting around 18 that I was just playing, like I say, non-league. Wasn't really doing much, you know, working as a chef. It was just a laugh, like, really. I didn't take it serious. And then a scout from Stoke saw me, and it went from there. Even then, though, at the time, I remember thinking, come on, somebody's having me on here. They're going to realise I'm a fraud in a minute. And even when I went from there to Stoke and then Stoke to Man United, even when I signed for United, I thought somebody's going to realise in a minute and think, what have we done here?
So you weren't one of those kids that people were always going on about, he's going to be a pro footballer?
Definitely not. No, God, no, nowhere near that. I think I've always been pretty good at just playing well on a Saturday. Got a bit of kind of game nous about me.
There are some big game hunters, aren't there, that don't train well, but you put them in a situation. And would you say mental resilience then? Is that part of?
Probably, yeah. I think mental resilience it's a big part of being a goalkeeper. You know, full stop. Just the buzz of a Saturday. You know, you get the sort of adrenaline, your energy levels kind of gets heightened. Everything's get heightened. And with me, I just feel it a lot more than what I do from day-to-day sort of training, really.
But does that make it hard to focus, or are you able to tune out of the crowd and the outside and tune into what needs to be done?
That's something that definitely comes with age. I think when you're younger, you take so much sort of on board. And I think sometimes your brain just gets muddled with stuff, do you know what I mean? I think nowadays, for the younger players coming through nowadays, they have to deal with all the social media, the sort of scrutiny that comes with it. Now it's insane. Whereas, you know, somebody in my position, 35, I kind of almost feel like I've been there, done that, and, you know, I can't even be arsed with it half the time, to be honest with you. You know, I just want to sort of play football on a Saturday and go home to my family, and that'll do.
You're a professional footballer and you can't be arsed with social media.
Oh, it's horrible.
You'll do for us.
That's the worst part of it. It's the social media.
You don't have to be on it, though, do you?
No, you don't have to be on. Yeah. I literally, I'll dip into it in and out, and that's not something I'll look at very often. But the thing is, young lads nowadays, it's almost, I think it's a problem, it's a wider issue. It's not just football, it's like a social problem with the whole world nowadays. Everybody just needs a bit of validation, a bit of sort of, a bit of importance, and just to feel love from even, you know, strangers and stuff, which is just weird.
Where do you get your strength and inner strength? Did you get the strength from coaches and colleagues?
I don't really need any of it, to be honest with you. Like I say, my inner strength it comes from myself, but that's an experience thing. I get it from knowing that I've got a family back home that, you know, love watching me, love sort of me being the daddy, but also being a footballer on a Saturday afternoon. That'll do for me. That's all I need.
You must have been a little bit needy, though, when you walked into Man United and there's Tony Coton and Edwin van der Sar, and okay, you said about maybe being a fraud, but how about that first day's training?
Exactly that. That's what I'm on about, the sort of the age difference. So at that time in my career, there's no way I was ready to be at Man United. It was the biggest sort of step up, the biggest shock ever to me. Like I said, I didn't even felt like I belonged, kind of thing. So the reason why I came out on loan was to get the game experience at Watford. But it couldn't have gone any better. It was just absolutely perfect. It was a perfect environment. The lads were just brilliant. You know, the fans took to me straight away. The fact that we got promoted in the first season was just, it couldn't have finished any better. Especially going through the playoffs as well. The playoffs was absolutely brilliant. You know, I still remember it to this day, and it was just a magical day. And then even the Premier League season, I know we didn't, you know, we got relegated at the end of it. It was massive experience for everybody.
Were you too young for that then?
Oh, yeah.
You said it was the right time, but were you, when you look back now, do you think, I wish I was 28, 29?
No, it definitely wasn't the right time. It was the wrong time for me to join there was no way my head was ready to be at Manchester United at that age. But it's something I'll never ever regret. I think you always got to learn from these experiences. You know, I got to train sort of day in, day out with Edwin van der Sar, who for me is probably one of the best goalkeepers that'll ever live. You know, for Man United at that time, there was nobody that could have done what he did. But even just like sort of as a guy as well, just away from the football, he was awesome. He was so calm, so sort of collected. He was, you know, I'd like to think he's quite similar to the way I am now. You just play his game, go home, that'll do. Perfect.
You were at Man United a long time. Not many games, but some significant ones, at least. Champions League final, League Cup winner as well, the first to introduce technology to goalkeepers.
I still get.
Tell us about.
Yeah, I still get reminded of it actually. It wasn't even that sort of. It wasn't even that special. We always did it where you looked at the iPod, you'd look at like the penalty takers. It's I think nowadays it's probably common sort of done. You know what I mean?
You'd be fired if you didn't.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, they looked at a few of the penalty takers where they went, and that was it. But you could have just done it on a piece of paper. It's the same sort of thing, really. But yeah, still, it was probably the breaking of the mould at the time, though. Yeah.
And then West Midlands, really, for the last sort of 7 or 8 years, was that by design, going back near to your roots, or was it something you wanted to do?
It was definitely, yeah, it was definitely. So I've always been a bit of a sort of home bird, anyway, really. So to kind of go home to Birmingham at first was perfect, and I get back to live, with a family and stuff like that. And then obviously
nice little trophy there.
Yeah, exactly. We won a trophy. That was brilliant. Again, Birmingham, it was fantastic. Had a lovely time. Great people as well. And then West Brom, 7 years. It's been my home for the last 7 years, and there's not a bad thing I could say about the club. They were always absolutely brilliant with me. The fans were amazing. I've made some lifelong friends there. Whether that's playing staff or behind the scenes staff. It's just a really nice club, and it was a bit of a wrench to leave, but Watford was probably one of the only teams that I would want to join from.
We talked about he's coming home. It was a little bit of a topical and a timing headline for us to use, but do you feel a sense of being familiar, at least being part of that reason for jumping at the chance?
Exactly that. Like I say, it makes it so much easier for me. I think probably for any players as well. If you've been there before, you know the sort of setup, you know the club as well. Like, I feel I had a really good connection with the Watford fans when I was here. So it was just a sort of no-brainer, really. The chance to come back to a team that's sort of, I don't think it's ever really been this good. The quality we've got within the team, from top to bottom now is probably the best it's ever been, really. And like I say, I know the area. It's just a real perfect, easy fit.
The tribute of how well someone's done at a club before is when they get received, when they come back with a different club, and a noticeably different reception you've always had at Vicarage.
Yeah, it has been nice.
Quite something. I think you said you was quite emotional.
It would absolutely break my heart if they'd have booed me. It'd kill me, it would. But no, they've been, like I say, they've always been absolutely amazing. Always give me a good old clap, and it's nice. That means a lot, because, like I say, Watford has always had a special place for me.
We're 12 years on now. You said you're a different goalkeeper. What's the older, more experienced Ben Foster? What are Watford fans going to see here that they might not have before?
Probably just a bit calmer. I think during my sort of younger years, I was always a little bit sort of too eager to impress, or too eager to sort of come off my line and go marauding somewhere. I think as sort of age gets you, you learn to sort of just assess things a little bit more calmly. And I think that's what I've done, especially in the last few years of my career, kind of thing. Just got better at sort of being a lot more calmer, especially under pressurised situations as well.
Well, welcome back. Great to see you. I hope there's a lot of profitable months ahead in terms of your performances and the team as well. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's an absolute pleasure to be back. There's still a few faces. Been here 12 years, you included. Which is madness, really. But it speaks volumes of the quality of the club. They must look after you.